What's happening, guys? I just went out for a little bit of a ride and I thought I would address some of the questions and just give you guys a little bit of an update video before I get into everything else that's got to happen on the channel. It's one of the best things about having a bike like this, you can just go anywhere and park up where there's no people or anything. But yeah, anyway, I wanted to talk to you guys about the, I had a lot of questions about the A9 Mark II, which I just bought out of nowhere with no plans or anything like that for switching. So I just thought I would let you guys know why and my experiences with it. If you'd seen, I'd already shot with the A9 Mark II when it very first came out, and I thought it was great. I didn't have a huge amount of time with it. Obviously I shot a whole wedding with it, but you know, I definitely needed a little bit more time. So now I own one. My original kit was I had two A7R Mark IVs, and I also had a A7 Mark III, which is all rigged out in like a cinema camera kind of deal with a Ninja and a big battery and all that kind of stuff. So I ended up selling one of my R4s for a pretty reasonable price, and I bought an A9 Mark II from my friends at Auckland Camera Centre. In New Zealand, the A9 Mark II now is the same price as the A7R4. If you go into any retail shop, they'll be selling for the same price. So I didn't really lose much money, and I just thought I would get something a little bit different. And you know, it's more YouTube content for you. I can compare the two cameras. Well, I have three of them now, but you know, I can compare the cameras and let you guys know my thoughts, maybe if you're looking at either one. So yeah, I shot a wedding down in up north in Whangarei last was it day before yesterday, just before we went into this new 7-day lockdown period in Auckland, and it was really great. I'll put a bunch of photos up so you guys can see those as well. But yeah, the A9 Mark II was really great. I am noticing a few differences with the R4 now, like the focus system. I did originally think it was about the same as my A7R Mark IV, but that camera was on the original software that it first came out with. Now with the A9 Mark II, and I've updated to the latest firmware you can get, it's definitely noticeably better than my A7R4. Not that the A7R4 was bad, but the A9 Mark II is definitely an improvement. It's just amazing how well it focuses. Even with these shots when they were walking back down the aisle and there was just like showers of confetti, there was no issues focusing on them with the real-time tracking. I did have a couple of messages about that photo actually, and the focus I was using. But yeah, it was really great, and it's definitely the best camera I've used in terms of autofocusing so far. A couple of other differences I didn't remember, or I forgot about, because I had an original A9 when they first came out, but I was shooting, it was a really bright day, and I wanted to shoot at 1.4, and I forgot that when you're on electronic shutter, the camera goes up to 16,000th of a second, so you get a whole nother stop that you can you know, get if you want to shoot wide open during the bright daylight. Obviously the lower megapixels was kind of a winner for me. Not that, you know, obviously technically speaking more megapixels is better, but you know, it's kind of overkill for weddings, and it was kind of a downside when I bought the A7R Mark IVs because I didn't have small RAW or anything like that. But I just, you know, I have a pretty fast computer, it's reasonably fast, and got a lot of hard drives, and you know, it wasn't too much of a big deal, other than the fact that I had to upgrade all my memory cards, so they're really expensive 128 gig UHS 2 tough cards, but you know, I did it anyway. And yeah, I am noticing the files are great, definitely a little bit better in low light, to be expected. You know, 61 megapixels versus 24, it's going to be an issue, but yeah, image quality I have no issues with. Dynamic range, low light, colors are great. Really happy with how they're coming out. One of the issues I did have with the A9 series cameras is they don't have picture profiles, so they don't have S-Log2 or S-Log3 or anything at all, not even Cine or anything. So that was an issue for me. I have found though, like I'm filming on the A9 Mark II now, and I'm just using the neutral, I can't remember what they're called. I think they're kind of like picture profiles, but just the standard things built into any Sony camera. So I have it on neutral, and I have the contrast way down to -3, and I have the saturation down -1 or 2, I think, as well. And then it gives me a little bit more dynamic range. Not as much as S-Log, but it's fine. So I can deal with that as well. Why I bought the A9 Mark II, I didn't really have any. I just went into Auckland Camera for something else, I can't remember what, just something random, and I saw that they were the same price, and I thought, oh shit, it'd be cool to do some more content for you guys and just have something different. And that's really it. There was no real, there was no deciding factor that I had to buy the A9 over the A7R IV. There was nothing I wasn't liking about the A7R IV. I just, if I didn't have a YouTube channel and I didn't want to make content for you guys, and just, I am in a position where I can try cool stuff out, I probably wouldn't have done it, but why not? So really that's the only reason why I bought the A9 Mark II. I also want to touch on the New Zealand trip that I'm going to be doing. So me and my friend, probably me and my friend, if he can't come, then it'll just be me. That's why I got this motorbike pretty much. So we're going to drive from the top of the North Island to the bottom of the South Island, camping out. We're just going to get small tents and chuck them on the back of the bikes, and do photography along the way. It's costing me a little bit of money that I don't have at the moment to kind of set it out, and get the luggage racks and everything like that all set up so I can carry the camera gear and everything like that. So if you guys want to see more bike content, let me know. But I'm in the process of setting it up, and I'm pretty keen to get going with that trip as soon as I have some free time. It'll definitely be this year. So, and I'm going to do photography tutorials along the way and show you guys some real amazing places in New Zealand, like off the beaten track. We're going to do a lot of the journey off-road. I'll be changing these tyres out for some all-terrain ones. Other gear, I have been using the Ronin RSC2 gimbal heaps at weddings. I never used to use it at weddings unless I had a dedicated video shooter and I would give it to them all set up. But I've been using it for sunset shoots and stuff like that, and it's just bloody awesome. Honestly, it's so smooth. You can just set it up, balance it, and just give it to anybody and they can get some good footage with it. It's very, very smooth. Much smoother than the what was the one I had before, Zone Crane 2. Obviously that's a cheaper option, definitely still a good gimbal, but yeah, the Ronin is definitely noticeably smoother, so yeah, pumped with that as well. But yeah, other than that, that's pretty much it. Business is okay, not great but not terrible. COVID is pretty under control here in New Zealand, I think. We're pretty lucky to be here, so I think we're all aware of that. We did have a bit of a slip up the other day where this family was supposed to be isolating and they didn't, and this is basically the cause of this new 7-day lockdown, which is just ridiculous. But what are you going to do? I did put a question out on my YouTube community. I only did it a couple of hours ago, so I didn't expect too many questions, but Jai is asking, do you have a transparent set pricing structure, or do you make custom packages for each business inquiry? And second one was, from which avenues do you find the bulk of your clients coming from? Yeah, my pricing is very transparent. It's all on my website. Anybody can go and see it, and there's no hidden fees or anything. The price is the price. That the clients get full res photos from that. They don't have to buy photos afterwards or anything. And the bulk of my work probably comes from if I was to go and order, it probably comes from referrals, and then after that would be Google, Google search. If you search Auckland wedding photographer, I come up on the first page. That would be a big one. And then other websites like Auckland Weddings is one. It's like a site full of vendors for weddings in Auckland. I'm on there. Other referrals from venues and celebrants and all that kind of stuff. Probably Facebook and Instagram and stuff like that would be my least amount of inquiries I get these days, but I'm not very good at it. I don't do it a lot. So yeah, mostly referrals and Google search would be where I get my inquiries. But yeah, I didn't want to make this video too long. I'll leave it at that. But videos coming up, you can expect a more in-depth review of the A9 Mark II and how I feel about it versus the A7R IV, or the A9 Mark I even, because I used that the other day again as well. We do have the A7 Mark IV coming real soon, I'm pretty sure. And yeah, I'll be doing a more in-depth review on the Ronin gimbal. I do have a cage that I have to do a review on, and I've got a couple of little lenses, a whole bunch of stuff that I just haven't had time to do, which I'll be getting onto real soon. Otherwise, yeah, thanks for watching on, guys. If you've got this far in the video, and you know, I really appreciate you guys doing that. And if you aren't subscribed, please subscribe. It really helps the channel. And give me a thumbs up or thumbs down if you didn't like the video, you know, whatever. But anyway, I'm gonna get out of here and see you guys in the next video.